back when I got the mic. I shot the sheriff and the deputy too. Paid off the feds, now it's all about my crew. What you wanna do? One at a time or all at once, I'll still roll through your whole crew. Like a southbound trucker, horse and motherfucker. I'll take shorts, motherfucker, I'll take the loss. And when you step with your anger, I'm like the robot from Lost in Space. I give a warning, but if you don't take it, I put my arm around your neck like we're cool, then I break it. It's all real, cop a feel from my steel. Here's the deal, when I say clap your hands like a seal, or better yet, give respect where it's earned. You lead me up, I'm like a hot pepper and you might get burned. You took a turn for the worst, walked up in my face, rode away in a hearse. Now how you gonna front on that? Kid Rock's in the house, that's where I'm at. Where you at, Rock? Where you at? Over here to the rear with your girl in the 40s of beer. Where you at, Rock? Where you at? Over there with a bad attitude, cause I just don't care. Where you at, Rock?
Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye. Excuse me for one moment, but basically all you need to know is it is time for the weekly report, and it's for next week for the dates of the 26th through the February 1st. Now, as I said, there's a lot of changes happening, and there's a lot of things that are going to go on as like a flip of a switch on, but you just can't really do it. And there's some people who just can't understand that stuff on how to do it. So when you say it, you have to say, is it do or do? Or are you on terms? Is it one of those things of a lack of control? There's a lot of courageous conversations that come through that are going to come to the table as far as workplace behavior. But when they actually look at it to the highest degree of none, where they want to resolve it because it's new everything, I have to say, don't get so enthralled about the deportations yet. Just yet. It's just the start of a ball. Now, let's look at this. So when I see on the 26th, all is a go, but on the 27th, it's still a stop standstill. And then on the 28th, I can't see, everyone's amped on the 28th. They can't even get their words out. Literally, they're stuttering full, even though they know how to get it out themselves. So when you actually see it on the 28th, it's full. It's full to do a lot of things. On the 29th, I see emptiness. On the Thursday, I see a full max to where you only are blocked for 4 hours. On the Friday, on the 31st, you literally have to go out to get out, to go out and get it out. And literally, you can't even be it out. So when I see the first, it's relaxed day. We got it done. We got it done. That's all you need to know. Okay, let's look a little bit deeper. So right off the bat is a 7 of Pentacles, and I do see a come to of a run that needs to do 2 of a through. But the 5 of the 3 to the 9 of the 8 comes into the 8 of Cups of broken hearts and dreams where they can't even get a DUN. Can't even get a DUN. So when I see this and I actually go through it, I have to say, maybe for the general public, it's just kind of stick to your regular home life and how it is, watching the news and being with the family and seeing how it should be. Seeing how it should be. Now, the 4 of Wands is this type of feeling also with general public of celebration. But really, this is still nasty energy flowing through. It's not within the individual. It's not upon the individual per se, but I'm saying it's flowing through. There's a lot of arguments on the spiritual teams that are here on social media or anything like that, where you say you just have to do it. It's nasty. It's almost kind of like a sting of like a pepper feeling of a dry sinus infection. It's the only way to describe it. Now, with that being said, also, You have this, the Two of Pentacles. It is a little bit more balanced as far as money as the collective goes, but I see still this lack of teamwork, and it has to do with bird flu still. What are you supposed to do? But when I look at this, the Mother of Swords to the Daughter of Swords, it really is the Daughter of Swords right here with this owl looking through, that you're going to have to say, you know what? Here it is. It's right through legal. Sue on through. Suit up. The Nine of Wands goes, you can't even believe what will do it. What will do it? This Nine of Wands is going to come in like a pick up sticks game. And when you're picking up the sticks and you're on the dirt road and you see the birds and you see the birds of prey like a falcon, or out here is an eagle or anything, or the owl, you're actually looking around, they're like, okay, what is the small animals that everything is going after? This is where the disappointment is, that kind of creeps out through the regular public of what was true and what was not, with just a little bit of media release that I see on a Tuesday, Wednesday, but it's still unclear. And it has to do with that nasty masculine energy. And it's just this gray fog in the air. When I see this and I see Wheel of Fortune, I actually have to go and look at it completely. It is not of luck. So we're still looking for the results of those instances of racketeering. And it kind of is a trickery. It really is. So when I'm looking at this, the Six of Pentacles, it is a good deal, but it's not at the same time. There's something about a January 12th that's like really nasty until February 24th, until you just got to get it done. All of a sudden, it's just, you got to get it done. You just got to get it done, but you can't get it done. So this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's no securement in like little things. So if you're looking at like big objective, such as moving or housing or anything like that, I wouldn't make haste. I would actually be nitpicky and micromanage everything until between April and September. That's how this energy is gauging. So when I see this and I see the Ten of Wands for next week, it really is difficult still. It's almost like you can't make a move. You literally have to listen to yourself so hard and be so rigid. Don't let anyone deter you, even to your daily habits. It's going to be that easy to get swayed and be off track with this type of energy. It's a little bit different than COVID. That's all you need to know. It is unresting. So when you have an opportunity, don't worry about what anyone says. If you feel like you got to take a nap again, take a nap again. When you see this, and it is the Seven of Cups, it is this like big thought, like, okay, we got this and we got it done on the collective. And then even into your houses, you're like, no, it's going to be like this. And you're like, no. Some people are like, no, you got to think smaller, be nitpicky, aim small, miss small. So when I look at this in the Hierophant, you actually have to be a little dictative even for yourself and nitpicky. So I look at this and I see strength in reverse. This energy is actually causing some weakness, almost like an energy sickness. So you may not have the flu or anything like that, but you're just not well. And all of a sudden you're just sitting there and you just couldn't even do it. Hi, Space Cowboy. So basically all you have to do is say, you know, with the Seven of Swords, there's just nothing that you can do. Nothing that you can do. This Seven of Swords, especially the way this fox is sitting and looking and watching. It really is hard to gauge because it is a pull through energy. So when I look at this and I see the Star in reverse, it is unfulfilled wishes still for next week on anything that might be personal. It could be the new job. It could be anything of maybe a new car, a better balance in your bank account, but everything else on the bigger level is flowing. So when I see this, there's still like business divorces happening, still business contracts divorcing and finishing out. So when I look at this and I say the Ten of Swords in reverse, it is a hard giving away, but you can't tell anyone. So, okay, the question is this in the chat. What is the energy surrounding? Okay, so this is actually a long question, because I see this as I'm viewing everything out in the public. There's this huge waiting that you had to get it done. Everything had to be 100% complete before you could ever do it. And I had to say yes and no. So I want to say, what is she thinking? So anyone who is experiencing a net, you want to be in a relationship with someone, it is on the table. You can't really make a move. You're still on this thing. You have to say, is this something like a criminal energy around you that's actually sticking to you? So when I actually look at it and I say, at this moment, these individuals want to come towards, but you can't. You've got to keep pushing on, like an on button. Like I said in the beginning, you might have missed it. It's a flip-on switch all of a sudden. All of a sudden, a flip-on switch. Let's dig a little deeper. So when I see this, the Seven of Wands in reverse, I actually see it to the wholest degree of this pickup sticks that makes everyone a little upset, even if they're trying to repair relationships, because they just can't move forward. There was something that went through society to the globe where it is disgusting, where nobody can do anything. All right. Let's look more on the relationship sides. The Ace of Wands in reverse for the relationship is an absolute dull, poured water and ashed out, where good solid relationships are next, which means there's a lot of justice. One of the worst things I kept hearing was on a Monday, it was catch me if you can. And then on a Tuesday, it was going to be something of divorce that shocked everyone, where you just couldn't understand how it happened at all. So when I look at this and I say the Six of Wands in reverse means, whatever it is, you need to give contentment to it. You have to say, there's something about that. With this Two of Wands, you can't do it anymore. You can't do it. So when you look at it and you go, there's just nothing. There's just nothing. Two of Wands in reverse. This one is actually, this energy is blocking me a little bit. You can't see it. All of a sudden, you sit there and you're like, maybe both were on the same page, that there was something in here, because this was way different than anything else. This is where you can actually see if any of the agencies come in on how well a family can work together without speaking, without even realizing what was going on, that each person has their own story. So when I see this, the Two of Wands wants to come out. Again, But really, it's the Ten of Wands in reverse. It's going to get crazy again if you don't let it happen. Live. Chaos will ensue when it comes through. And this is what is hidden as it results to anything that we usually talk about here on this channel. It is what is hidden, what is skewed, what is obscured from us that we just can't say goodbye and move on whatsoever. It really is a turn of the tide, and you actually look at it and you're like, it's washed out, it's tide pods, and you say, here we go again. It's the type of trolling that you just can't even control at all, and it's not complaining, it's just happening again. Where does this want us to be? White Sage Tarot. All right. Let's look. As far as politics go, when it comes down to how it will be, I do see a lot of talk about the Navy. I do see the deportation still going on. I still see a lot of more discussions with ICE. I do see a little bit of talk of Department of Homeland Security. FEMA has been on the table for months, and it is a kick up of a kick out, and not in that kind of way. It's like a kick out, like a kickstand, a bike kickstand. And then when you see it, you actually roll the ball down, and then you look to New Orleans, and then you look to the bigger issues of what's been happening with law enforcement, to the community on what they see. That is where this nasty Page of Wands comes in, where they put a halt and a block and a stop. Confirmed. Ace of Swords. It is really not the best of weeks next week. It really is not, and that's just crazy. This has to do with all forms of the meaning divorces, of separations, of nasty. Just can't see it yet. It does, though, breaking of business partnerships give like a lot of money, like more opportunities to move on. Sometimes you got to trust it. Strength, it is weak at first, and that has come out as almost surrendering to a restart. But when you see the Five of Pentacles, there's some sort of alleviation to what needs to be done when you have an end of a contract. So when you look at the Knight of Pentacles, you actually have to see what is going through. Everything. This Knight of Pentacles is actually going to ensue, and it's also going to Purdue. The Star actually has to say, you can't even do it. This like wishes, all of a sudden you see it right in front of you after certain things come through. Like I said, we're on new terms, and then we're also on, new politics, new outlook, and there's still cleanup of what's going on. But like we said, this energy, this gray, nasty, sticky energy floating around still is sticking to where we can't get anything done. There's really no movement, but there's definitely separations to divorces. I keep saying that. It's actually annoying me to the point where I'm saying, universe, what do you want me to know? All right, Queen of Cups. You have to say, it's true. It really is true. When you actually sit here and you are having intuitive downloads, that you have to say, everything was done, and we still have to sit here. So in reality, the Eight of Swords comes in and says, yep. That's all you need to know. All you need to know. So when you look at this, the King of Cups, you can't even do it right or straight at all. It really is balanced and attuned. And with the Queen of Cups to the King of Cups, it is a little bit harsher, meaning that it's more emotions flowing through on that day. All right. Let's go to Starseed Oracle. Again, it's saying that, you have to be this leader that you wish that you had. It has to see, righting past wrongs into uprooting. Right now, I don't see it would be best to move anywhere because it's everywhere. Whatever is going on is going to be in a different state also. So when I look at this life lesson, soul growth, study, higher learning, when I had said hunker down for the winter, it was hunker down. Just be like on your universal precautions and just mind your business. Where are you in your life? So when I look at this and I say, let it go, it's not yours to carry, you actually have to say that it was true. It is a little bit of the answer to your question. Right now, what they are thinking towards the question for Space Cowboy in the live chat, it is for literally that they do think it's positive thoughts towards you, but it's still on this, you can't do a move on with each other yet. So when I see this and I see manifestation and I see creative accountability, you might have to be creative on being with each other and pursuing a relationship. There is soul growth. One might be a little bit higher than the other, which is okay as far as where they are, because maybe they're stuck on trying to be creative on having a relationship. But that's all you need to know, is that everyone's experiencing the same thing. Everyone had to stay in their lane. Everyone had to stay in their box. It is confusing. It is. But basically what I'm showing you is that everyone else is going through it also. So when you says new solutions and new beginnings, there is. Be creative. There is something that both of you can think on how to pursue a relationship. So when you look at this, it says follow your intuition before it makes sense. All of a sudden, it's just right there. Your intuition. That's your daily habits all of a sudden. So when we look at it and we say spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time, all of a sudden, it's like this epiphany for both of you. Even if it could be a work relationship, like I said, I integrate it in. So when I look at it and I says, trust the wave you come in, time is not running out. It's not running out for both of you. Don't worry. It's okay. When you see the pulse and slow down time in nature, it means taking time outside. Don't be so indoors. Sit outside when you can, or take a longer drive if you can. Get fresh air. It's something about, too, inspired ideas. Being outside, and everything would have an aha moment, that is question everything. While I can't even speak, while the veil is unlifting. It'll make sense when it happens. But basically, when you see it, you have to bring the unconscious to light. So with that being said, it goes, soul training and gifts. When it comes to the collective next week, you're going to have to be creative. You're not going to be able to do a whole much. It's not going to be the best of the week, even if it's scheduled. It is something that just has to be done. It's something that has to be ensued to pursued to suits. and it has to literally come right to the table. And as you see it play out, like we talked about in a couple other videos, I mean, all it takes was one box missing from a co-op, and 35 states are all up in arms. Alrighty. Lastly, let's just look through the crystal, and then that will be it for tonight. All is a must of a bust to get the day, the lay, the bay, the say, and literally with a word called GAYE, it is a done and a none that come to the table with a complaint, last names to profession, that they can't get anything done, and there's just nothing that they can do. So with that being said, that's all I have for tonight for next week's weekly report. Any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave it right in the comments or send me an email. With that being said, a like, a share is greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a good night, everyone.